Clerks, the animated series. So I'm reviewing this and another something I'm going to review next week. I won't spoil what that is. As a preview for basically, I'm just kind of reviewing some Kevin Smith stuff because the new Kevin Smith movie comes out. Was it movie 430 movie or something like that? I forget the title of the movie exactly. I keep mixing up with some other movie. Anyways, I'm reviewing that because the new Kevin Smith movie's coming out, and I've always wanted to talk about Clerks the animated series because this is a great series, and so Clerks the animated series is a pretty interesting show. There's a whole history of this show that multiple people have documented on the internet and very entertaining videos. So I'm not going to go into it here, but essentially this show was made back in the 90s, of course, because that's when Kevin Smith was big. And Kevin Smith ended up making the show. He didn't have major involvement. I mean, these are his characters, he helped create it and stuff. But for the most part, this show was not entirely his thing. This is one of the few Kevin Smith projects with his characters that he did not majorly be involved with. And, he just helped get it through the finish line. But basically this show came out, aired on ABC, and was canceled like 2 or 3 episodes in. And so they had 6 episodes made, and so eventually they're just like, alright, we'll put them out on DVD. The DVDs still hold really well, but other than that, that's kind of how the show became a cult classic. Most people did not watch the show as it aired. It only had 6 episodes. And this DVD set, by the way, is very nice. It's out of print. You can get this print cheap on eBay. To just set each disc has 3 episodes on it. This is the best way to get the show because I don't think this show's streaming anywhere, which is shitty. Kevin Smith has actually talked about bringing this show back, but he can't because he does not know who owns the rights. So it's this whole complicated thing with this show. And it's so bizarre because this is a great show. And there's memes with this show that people enjoy. Like, there's a bit that's very famous up to this point. Could the virus kill the grimace? Nothing can kill the grimace. Like, shit like that is hilarious. This show is awesome. I think this is a great show, I think, even if you're not a fan of Kevin Smith. Because there are tons of people who I know who don't like Kevin Smith movies. And I totally get it. Because his style is... He doesn't really evolve too much as a filmmaker. He does from time to time, but for the most part, he kind of has the same bag of tricks. And especially now, it feels like it's a little run out. Not to me, it doesn't, but I understand why other people feel that way or could feel that way. But Clerks is so different from, like, Clerks or any other Kevin Smith project because it's just... This show's a cartoon, and what is great about the type of cartoon this is this was during the 90s adult animation boom. So this show's an adult show, has adult humor. But this show is also very wacky and bizarre and embraces so much of being a cartoon. There are so many random bits and gags that don't make any sense or have any real logic. They have logic within the show, but for the most part, they don't really make any sense. Like, episode 2 is probably the greatest example of this. So, back in the day, they used to do these episodes of TV shows called clip show episodes, which is basically like when you had a ton of episodes and you would flash back to old episodes. And so it'd be a lot of the characters standing around in one room being like, remember this? And then they flash back to that, right? Well, in this episode, it's episode 2, so they just keep flashing back to episode 1 or events that didn't even happen and will never happen in the context of the show. It is so funny and so clever, but there's so many great gags like that and just ideas for episodes here. This show had so much potential because the concept is simple. It's just 2 dudes working at a convenience store just like Clerks, but they are able to play around with it and laugh around so much with these characters. And yeah, there's stuff that's different from the movies, like Jay and Silent Bob aren't anything like their characters from the movies, because their characters from the movies are drug dealers. They're a lot more intense. You know, Dante and Randall are a little bit different, but for the most part, you don't care because the show's so good. This show also has great character designs. I mean, look at these character designs; they're fantastic. They're just really well designed characters. It's laugh out loud funny. This show. There's great gags. There's so many funny, just random bits here. Also, what's great about this DVD set is it has introductions with the live action actors of Blade Silent Bob. Of course, Kevin Smith. I'm forgetting the other guy's name. They introduce the episodes, and all those bits are funny. There's just a lot of great gags in this episode, and or in this whole show. It's just super well done. And yeah, if you've ever seen Clerks the animated series, what a freaking incredible show that is just so incredibly well written, funny, just fucking fantastic. And all the voice acting is also great throughout this entire show, like non-stop. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe.